Hello everybody and welcome back to Perpetual News. It is currently 10:45 p.m. and I am recording this about an hour and 15 minutes after watching the debate. So, some key things that were tossed around on the debate stage tonight. Well, first of all, let's talk first about the last thing that was mentioned, which is mail-in voting. Trump has been going on his rants as per usual, and unfortunately, what I thought was going to happen, indeed, fact happened. He actually has basically just said that mail-in voting is just simply false, and it shouldn't happen that way, and it's incorrect, and it'll be what leads to his downfall, basically. And yeah, so I think Trump, instead of actually trying to win the presidency again via actually bidding for the presidency and going to the individual states and trying to rally his support, is just going to get in Amy Coney Barrett for the judicial place that was left by Ruth Bader Ginsburg and just overturn the election. So none of this may matter in a few months here. So we're about 5 weeks away from the election. We've still got 2 more debates coming up. Now, I can almost guarantee you the issue of fraudulent voting is going to come up more than once over the next few debates, and I can tell you right now, there's one candidate that's going to say it's completely false, completely inaccurate, and one candidate that's going to say, oh, it's fine. But honestly, they're both wrong. As you can see, there has been a few fraudulent votings, so Trump is technically right on just a couple votes. In 2016, there might have been a few wrong votes by people who were dead, and that happened on both sides, by the way. That's not just one side. Don't blame the Republicans. Don't blame the Democrats. Everybody is basically just screwed in this election. We don't know whether it's going to be fraudulent or not. However, what I will say is it has been a secure and notable way of voting for the last 60 years or so. In the 2018 midterms, which Trump did better than expected in, 25% of the votes came from mail-in voting. So what I think he's trying to do is he is trying to get enough support for his clear and utter bias that this election will be fraudulent, because let's be honest with ourselves. 538, the Real Clear Politics polling averages, both of them have just Biden just dominating Trump in almost all of the states, and it's almost unreal. That debate, that was probably the most annoying thing that's ever happened in history. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I sat through an hour and 30 minutes of the debate, just how long it ran, and I hated pretty much every last minute of it. I did think Joe Biden did way better than expected, and I think Trump held his own, which he always will, because the same 35 to 40% of the nation is always going to vote for Trump, no matter what. It doesn't matter what he says. They've lost all actual principle in life. They don't actually care what he says. They just vote for him because they're going to vote for him, and that is all that is going to be said. Biden voters are a little less conspicuous. They don't worship Biden. I don't get. I'm pissed off. I'll be honest with you. I don't get the amount of people that can still support Trump after everything he said today and last few weeks. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the early signs of fascism. It just is. there is a clear and utter him trying to rig this election. I mean, it was just live on television. We all saw it. We all saw what he was trying to do. And if you didn't see it, you're brainwashed. So that's it. That's the fact. Congratulations for being dumb. So, if the election isn't fraudulent, I will give you my personal thoughts on who will win each state. If the election isn't fraudulent in any way, which it totally will be, so none of this matters. Okay. And so, right now, after that debate, actually, sorry, I did not mean to put Ohio in Biden's column. After that debate, I have Donald Trump at 203 delegates, and I have Joe Biden at 35 delegates. Now, you may call me crazy, you may say I'm insane, but here's what I think will happen if the election is not fraudulent. After the debate, I moved Maine's 2nd District into likely blue, and I moved Nebraska's 2nd District into tilt blue. And I moved North Carolina into tilt blue as well. Here's what I had it at actually last time. So I just moved one state over, North Carolina. I thought the Biden appeal to the auto industry would probably apply pretty well in North Carolina as well as Ohio. That's why I think I actually moved Ohio over to a tilt margin as well. I do think that Joe Biden is going to do better than expected in Ohio, and I think a lot of people are expecting Ohio to just solely go for Trump. And I think Ohio is actually going to be much closer than Texas is, or Georgia, or Iowa. I think Ohio, out of these 4 states, or even Nebraska's 2nd District, I think out of those 4 states in Nebraska's 2nd District, I think Ohio will be the closest. North Carolina I also had as a tilt, which it would be a 0-3 margin. So, Biden wins by 0.45. And then Ohio, Trump maybe would win by 0.35, 0.75, something like that. So, this is my current prediction, leaving Joe Biden with 335 and Donald Trump with 203. Let me know what you think. Sorry I sound pissed off in this video. I just witnessed the fall of democracy, so I think I deserve a little bit of a break. This will be my last video for a while. I'm going to do one more prediction probably before the election, and then I will go on from there, and I will probably do a normal Perpetual News episode during the week of the election, which this will be probably a week to 2 week long festivity this year because of the mail-in voting. They're going to count them over a longer period of time. Some states have decided they're going to count the mail-in votes early, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all of the mail-in votes can be counted, because mail-in votes, unlike regular votes, are actually due 7 days after the election. So we are going to have ourselves a fun 2 weeks. I'm going to hate that 2 weeks. I think most people in the nation are going to hate that 2 weeks. It's going to be chaos, and it's going to be terrible for this nation. We cannot stand another fall. We just can't hold back. If Trump tries to overturn these election results and clearly Joe Biden has won, I will revolt. And I hope many people will march with me to Washington. It will. I know that this election is going to be either fraudulent or somehow skewed some way or something. I just hope that the American people can look past their political differences and realize that we need to follow the Constitution, we need to follow the law, and we need to have order in our nation. And under Trump, it's been purely chaos. Don't get me wrong, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't think many people like Joe Biden. But I'm going to vote for him simply because it seems like under Trump, the fall of our nation is imminent. I hope it's not true. But that's what I leave with you. Put your notifications on. Like the video, comment, subscribe. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment. I'll answer them. If you disagree with me, let me know. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be right. It doesn't. Polls were wrong in 2016, as most people say. So, I mean, statistically, that's inaccurate, except for Wisconsin. But we will see, I guess. Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.